Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Greg, and in this video I'm going to talk about body spoons. Now, spoons are kind of like hammers. They come in a multitude of sizes, shapes, weights, length. Everyone has a specific purpose, and if you've seen my video on just hammers, I got more hammers and I'll use more hammers on one job than a lot of body technicians own, and it's the same with spoons. I've got probably a dozen, 15 different kinds of them, and I've collected them over the years. I found a lot of them at flea markets and stuff, used ones, and some of these I don't even think you can get anymore, but I'm going to show you the uses to them. So you know, a couple places you could look for these, maybe Autobody Tool Mart or Eastwood, but they are very important, and you use these just like you do your hammers. It's rare that I'm doing a job where I'm using a hammer or dolly and I don't have a spoon involved. So I'm going to show you some of the basic ones to start out, then I'll show you some more ones that are probably obsolete. I don't even know if you can find them anymore, but I'll show you how they all work. Okay, the first one that every body tech should own is this one here, and I think this is just called a light slapping spoon. I just call it a spoon. And you can actually use these for adjusting doors and fenders. Everybody's got one. Use it to put it in there if you want to bend a door or a fender to make it match the door. But what these are designed for, and I've shown these in several of my videos, if you're working on a dent and you've got a high spot, which is an eyebrow, you'll put it on there and you'll tap on it with your hammer at the same time. It keeps from leaving hammer marks in the panel, more of a smoother finish, and it'll work down a high spot. But anymore, I use this primarily just for getting into tight areas and prying with it. And I use the handle probably more than the spoon end of it because it's a little bit heavier. There's no give to it, but it's a rounded edge. And with this handle, it's wide enough you can get a lot of leverage by twisting on it. So I'm going to show you. Hey, like this deck lid here, if there's some damage that you can't get to because of these ribs, the thin end fits real nice into there, and you can watch your work on the back side, on the top side of it actually, and you can pry on that. You can put a little pressure by twisting on it, but you can get quite a bit and by moving it up and down and wherever you have to be. But like I said, if you watch the back side, the top side, you can see your progress, you can see what you're doing, and like anything else, do it slow and steady. Don't go overboard right off the bat, but you can get in there and you can pry on it. It'll fit quite a few places fairly thin. Like I said, I use the handle probably more than this. Now it's a little bit too thick to fit into there, but you can find if there's access holes that's close to the damaged area, you can get that in there. And like I said, you can twist this. You get quite a bit of leverage there, and as thin as a lot of these panels are, it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure, but they're just real handy to have. And it's rare that I use them as a slapping spoon anymore. If you've seen my video on some metal straightening, when I talk about using this to work down an eyebrow, that's what I bought it for initially years ago, but then realized that that eyebrow is tough to get out until you have the low spot, most of the damage out. So at that point, you don't need it too much on the outside for an eyebrow. So it mostly gets used just for stuff like this, for getting it into panels and prying. Now I'm going to show you some more I've got in my tool selection. Okay, and I don't even know what the names of all these are, but these are basically, you can do some hammering on the back side, but I use them primarily for getting into places. They work good inside of a door where you can get behind an intrusion beam and you can put pressure on a panel. In a quarter panel, you can use it to use the end, buck it up against a wheelhouse, and then put outward pressure on a quarter. These are real similar in the curve, but the length is what's going to affect where it's going to hit on the damaged area. Here's another one. This is pretty heavy, and it's not the most used dolly I have, but like anything else, sometimes you just need a certain tool that nothing else will fit into to get to your damaged area. But these long ones here, these are handy, but you can do a lot of damage with these because you can get a lot of leverage if you can get it in and pry with this end, or you can slide it into something and pry there. You can use the tip of it for prying out, or if you can reverse it to put it in somewhere and then you push up on the dent with this. Like I said, these things come in a million sizes and shapes and weights, and I think most of these bigger ones here, I had picked up in a flea market for a couple of bucks. I don't think the guy that had them knew what they were, and they don't get used that much. Now this one here, I think these are for the old Fenders, the big old curved Fenders, probably from the 30s and 40s. So that thing's an antique, and it's rare that I use it, but like I said, once in a while you'll just have an area that you can't fit anything in, and one of these may work. This here is real handy, and actually that's a hunk of leaf spring I picked up probably 40 years ago, and that works good for all kinds of stuff. Now I don't know if this falls in the category of a spoon, but you kind of use it. You can get in certain areas and pry with, but I'll show you what it's made for. Okay, this is actually a driving spoon or a Fender beading tool, and beading with a D. But it's got two different ends on here. It's got these flat spots where you hammer on it. And this is for putting inside a Fender lip and hammering on it. Anywhere you can get it into a lip that has to be driven back, so if the Fender gets pushed back, get it in there, hammer it this way. This here, on that end, it puts more pressure right on that inside edge as opposed to having it spread out here. So yeah, you can use this anywhere it'll fit. You can do some hammering on it. Now I don't know if you can find these anymore. I've had this thing for years, but I'm gonna just say something here. If technicians getting into this trade would actually buy tools instead of worrying about who has the biggest toolbox and going broke, trying to, to spend $15,000 on a box with no tools, if they'd actually buy these tools, companies would manufacture them. But when people just worry more about how big their toolbox is, this stuff all disappears. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, now working inside a quarter panel, we've got some damage up into here. So you take one of these spoons and you'll find one that'll fit correctly, and by wedging the back side against the wheelhouse, you can put pressure on that quarter panel. And sometimes you won't get all of it with one spoon. That's why you may take several tries to find exactly what you need. Now this one here seems to slip quite a bit. You can't quite get it. The longer one seems to work pretty good. But if you have several of these to choose from, here's one that's fairly thick, and it just depends. Now this one will fit into some places. It just depends what your dent is like, what you have to work against on the back side, and where your pressure point is. That's why it usually takes several of them to get it out right. And if you're limited to just one spoon and you can't get in there, you don't have any other choice, you'll end up with a little bit extra Bondo, maybe a little bit more work to get it straight. But these here are just something else in your tool kit, just to give you a little more options. Now working on the inside of a door, I hope I can get this in here and hopefully it shows up. Some of these with different curves to them, you can slide it in between the intrusion beam. There you go. I think you can see that, and work on the skin that way. And you won't get all of it with just one tool, but you can see how they really help gain you some access. Let me see if I can get some better lighting in here. This is that leaf spring, and it'll fit into places, and depends how far you need to slide it down in there. Try this way. But you get the idea. You can just do a whole lot more work with more tools, and you can possibly save stuff, save panels that otherwise have to be replaced. And sometimes that could make the difference between getting a job and losing a job. Now, one thing I've noticed, with probably the exception of 2 of these spoons, there's no name on them. So it's even hard to search for a company that makes them. Like I said, best bet is trying either Eastwood, Autobody, Tool Mart. Now this one here, this is made by Porter Ferguson, and I think that company is still around, but they always made a very nice porta power. And this one here with these flat spots, it's kind of a driving wedge or a driving spoon too. You can use that to put inside whatever you're working on, a channel or something. You can hammer on it here to drive it, you can hammer on that. But I usually use it for getting in and prying up and then doing my body work on the top side. But most of these, there's no name on them. So, and this one here I know isn't all that old. Well, that could still be 25 years old. And this is probably from Snap-on or Mac. I think the only other one I have with a name is Mac. And it's actually a stamp, like a little paint mark on there. So I don't know why none of them stamp it right on the handles. So it may be a little hard searching for them. But it's like anything. Once you have this basic light dinging spoon and figure out that how easy it works and how good a job it does just by getting in and twisting and prying, you'll want to pick up more spoons, different types. So do a little searching. If you could run across them, you know, grab them up, because they will pay for themselves. In the future, I'm going to have a video coming out, and I'm going to talk about picks and prying tools. So after that video sometime, I've got this door here, and it's got a lot of damage down in here. So we're going to put to use all these tools, all the spoons and picks and hammers and dollies and body files, and we're going to see how this comes out. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Remember, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.